talk about the friendship breakup. Like, mourning a friend is a lot. I recently went through friendship breakups. I lost a friend because of this podcast. But the podcast had nothing to do with her. It's like a certain topic we were talking about hit home, and she thought that we were specifically talking about her.
Welcome to the Pure Intentions podcast, where real love, raw emotions, and intentional relationships come together. Welcome back to the Pure Intentions podcast, where we talk everything relationship from an intentional point of view. I am your host, Chrissy A., and today we don't have Sir Anthony with us, but however, we have a lot of beautiful women here. So we're going to talk about friendship today. We're going to start from this end, and everybody just, slowly take a time and introduce yourselves. Let's start here.
Oh, we're doing the mic thing.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I'm Taylor Iman. I'm a singer, actress, all those things. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Miss Taylor Iman, MISS. Taylor Iman. Thanks. Bye.
Here you go, boo.
Y'all know her. That's E.
I am Erica. I go by Lady E. You can follow me on Instagram at lady_E_312.
My name is Jasmine. I am a dancer, educator, and visual artist. You can find me on Instagram at the Jasmine Danielle. That's THEE, Jasmine like the flower, Danielle. With the S or like the flower.
Well, she stated, I am Christina. I'm just a mom and a dancer where I met all these beautiful young ladies. And you don't have to follow me, but my handle is Brown Sugar Baby, SUGA Baby, BABIE. On Instagram. I'm just living life.
Period.
Hi, I am the other Jasmine. I am a mom, a Afro-hysterophile, and a educator. And I don't have a handle because I can't be handled. So.
Clock it. Hi, I am Dejanera Peoples. Most people call me Deja. I am an educator. I'm a mom, and I'm just here for a good time, with my girls.
Yo. No, I'm kidding. I am Elena, a.k.a. Lele. And I am a dancer / entrepreneur. You can follow me definitely on all platforms at That's Hawkins. That's with a Z.
Period. Okay, so like I said, you guys, we are going to talk friendships today. It might lean into relationships because this deck gets you into points where, okay, we're just going to get into it. So like I said, we have the Sister Circle card deck that we brought out we introduced this 2 podcasts ago, 3 maybe, with Elena and E. So now we have more ladies that we can talk about this with, and I'm so excited. I'm just going to randomly pull. Does anyone want to pull first?
Okay, sure.
Okay. It says, how do you deal with a friend that feels negatively about your partner? Do you address it or do you let it slide? I answer? Okay. Baby, I ain't letting it slide, sis. I'm sorry. I'm going to respect the relationship. But as somebody who loves you and who's in your corner, if I have an issue with your partner, I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to treat your partner different. I'm not going to be disrespectful to them. But if I see or I notice anything that kind of rubs me the wrong way, especially if I've been around you for a significant amount of time and I feel like I know you and this is safe for me to give my opinion, I'm going to do that for sure. But even if you are not receptive of whatever I have to say, again, no judgment, right? I'm still going to be there to support you through the ups and downs of that relationship. And I'm always going to treat your partner with respect, but I'm definitely going to let you know.
So what if it's like the other way around, and a friend comes to you and say, hey, I really don't like the man that you're with because of X, Y, and Z, and he did X, Y, and Z. Like, how would you take that?
I'm going to take it into consideration because at the end of the day, anybody that I have around me, I know loves me and cares about me, right? And I'm big on energy, so I can feel if you're being genuine or not, or if you just probably got your own issues and you're projecting. So at the end of the day, I'm going to take it into consideration because I know you love me. And so at the end of the day, I'm just like, okay, maybe there's some reflecting that I need to do. Maybe I do need to maybe, keep an eye out for this or that. But at the same time, I'm still going to make my own decisions. I'm a Taurus.
Period.
I'm bullheaded. So, I ain't going to let nobody talk me about my relationship and
Period.
go home to they man.
You say, my man.
But I'm going to take it into consideration for sure.
Does it depend on the friend that's telling you this?
Yes, very much so. If she's married, if she ain't got no man, I definitely ain't listening to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not.
Just count me out.
No, but you know what? It also depends on the nature of the advice, right? If we're talking, it just depends on the nature. If it's something that she's experienced that I know she's actually walked and been through, of course I'm going to take that into consideration. But if we're talking about like maybe some future endeavors, and I know this is probably something that she hasn't yet touched on, I might be like, I'm going to let her speak her piece, but I'm going to be like, okay, I'll see when I cross that path on my own, when I cross that bridge on my own. So it just depends on the nature of the situation. I feel like when it comes to friends and advice, we gotta have our own strong discernment. Because again, like I told you, people will try to talk you out your relationship and then go home to their man or do the same things or are doing the same things that you're doing, but just won't speak on it, and sometimes it can come from a genuine place because even though they're going through it too, they want better for you. So we just gotta be able to, kind of weed out what to adhere to and what to kind of like be like, nah, I'm gonna just thank you for that, but no thank you.
Period. Did you want to say something?
She said it.
Oh, it's done? At first she was like, now she like, it's done. Anybody else had to? No? Okay, period. Period. You ate. Who want to go next?
I mean, if you looked over here, I guess we can get it on.
Period.
Ooh, yikers. If a friend starts bringing toxic energy or bad habits around you, how do you protect your peace? This is so beautiful. I guess you gotta filter where they're coming from. It's not even so much they're bringing something to you. It's them. Whatever they're going through. If you're a person that do absorb energy, you can feel it. And I am like that. I can get sad when I'm not sad because it's somebody that's bringing whatever. So if it's a toxic thing or whatever, sometimes it's you. They're not your friend, essentially. It could be a hate. It's something you doing that people tend to project as humans. You see something in somebody and you don't know that you hate them, but you want to have the lifestyle that you see. And a lot of times that's where people call it like girl or women mass, but it's like it's inner hate. It's inner hate. You see something like, why I can't have her life or her happiness? Why I can't look like her? Why I don't look like that in them pants? So you are diminishing yourself. You lost your self-love. And you will get lost in a lot of people like that. And it ain't just friends. It's family that does that to you. Yeah. Sometimes siblings, somebody that's supposed to have your back, and it hurts, but it's nothing you could do about it. You have to allow them to find themselves, and trying to fix somebody like that will drain you, hurt you. You don't recover from it in a way. It's just, you got to let them be down. Let them cross certain bridges by themselves. It's hard to tell somebody that needs to go through certain phases. Like, you remember what it was like growing up. Can nobody tell you about your bad boyfriend? He ain't good for you, girl. You hating on me. And then you looking back 20 years later like, he wasn't no good for me. I missed all them red flags. But we can't talk each other through that. So somebody bad energy is just a phase they going through. It's hate, but we don't want to call it that because of who they are in our life. But Sometimes you just got to cut people loose, love them from a distance.
Yeah. So, okay. So it's saying that if a friend brings toxic energy, is there a point where you may think that that friend is bringing that toxic energy because of something that they might be going through, and they're like trying to like, they probably see signs in whatever you're going through and say, hey, this reminds me of something that I go through. How do you use your, like she said, discernment in that regard? Like,
So you could be open to, I guess you want to call it interpretation, but people got to know when they can just talk. And sometimes I might just want to talk and vent. And if that's something you need, just talk and vent. But don't come and call out my situation, because what you see is just your perspective. Yeah. It's not even my real situation. Or you might have seen one bad thing because you have been waiting on my situation to fall on the ground from the beginning. So you just looking, picking, poking. You're not even there for me. So you bring in bad energy because you just don't want me to be successful in what I'm doing.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, Layla
You got something to say?
I think it depends.
Just for the.
I think it depends on what exactly the negative energy is, like, and also who is the person. If I don't traditionally know them to have negative energy, then I'm gonna be like, "What's going on?" I'm gonna try to figure out what's happening. But for me, especially if I'm just getting introduced to you, you got about maybe 3 good times for you to have negative energy unexplainably, for me to be like, okay, let me pull away. You know what I mean? But if you're my friend and I know you and you're like a part of me, like I be attached to the people that I love. So it's like, if I know that you're suddenly having bad energy, I'ma eventually be like, you good? You sure? You know what I mean? Because I just think that's important. Now, if somebody is more so to what you were saying, like they're kind of putting you down and what you got going on, I think it's actually same answer, because it's just like, if I know you and I really mess with you, it's like, why are you putting this down? What do you see that I don't see? And if you just a damn hater and I'm just getting to know you, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, because I can't. Yeah.
Start separating your relationships like that.
Do me a favor. Read the question one more time.
If a friend starts bringing toxic energy or bad habits around you, how do you protect your peace?
Bad habits.
So I kind of want to piggyback off of what Christina said. I'm gonna take a page out of Chrissy and Sir Anthony's book and be completely transparent in this moment, right? Because I have a friend, I'm actually going through this right now. And I'm actually in a healing place in my life, right? I'm going through a lot of transition. And in this moment, there's somebody that is very close to me, right? And it's a difficult time for me right now, but it's also a healing time. So I'm in a positive place, right? Even though I'm experiencing so much, right? But ultimately, I just feel like the energy that she brings is very negative all the time. And it's not like towards me. It's things that are going on in her life, but sometimes that unloading on me while I'm trying to heal, right? While I'm on a path, a healing journey, right? And if I get that call and it's like a bunch of unload, my chest gets tight, right? I get anxiety and I'm like, I'm not there. Like, I can't carry this with you. But it's like, I don't want to be selfish because I love you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful that you're a part of my life during one of the most important times in my life, right? While I'm prioritizing my mental health, I'm prioritizing my finances, I'm just rearranging everything in my life. And you're a part of that. But it's like, there's so much negative things that are going on in your life right now. And it's like, I can't carry that. So I feel like it's a situation where you have to set boundaries and you have to be okay to have difficult conversations with your friends. And I feel like a lot of times we don't want people to think, oh, I don't give a fuck about what you going through or what you got going on, so I'm dismissing you. But it's more so like, I can't take that right now. Like, I love you, but my energy and where I'm at in my life, I can't carry that with you. And that's just where I'm at. And it's not that I'm not here for you, because I am, but that unloading is too much for me. So I feel like it's okay to set boundaries, right? And then in addition to that, with the bad habits, you just have to set boundaries. If you know I don't do certain stuff, don't do it around me. That goes to show how much you love me and respect me, no matter what you do, right? Just be respectful of what I don't do.
What does setting boundaries look like?
Clear communication.
There we go.
Clear communication. Hey, this is a problem for me, right? Being okay, like I said, to have those difficult conversations with your friends, because we okay sometimes having those difficult conversations with our men.
No,
But with our friend, we'll go pillow talk with our man like, this bitch getting on my motherfucking nerves. I can't stand her. She always calling me with that bullshit, talking about that nigga. But at the same
I'm
time,
gonna tell that bitch too.
and as you should, because that's so at the end of the day, it's just being clear communication and setting those boundaries. Like, man, stop talking to me about him. What did I tell her? I haven't told her anything yet.
You haven't set them boundaries.
And so I asked you that because I've been on the opposite end of that spectrum, right? Where I feel like had a friend set boundaries, effectively communicated, instead of went about it in a different way where you completely silenced me in a way that I was just kind of like, you are like the longest friend that I've known my entire life. I can respect if you're going through something, but what I can't respect is you ghosting me because you're going through something, because you, like, in your mind, everything that you said sounds perfectly fine to me. I'm all about communication and transparency, all that good stuff. So I just encourage you to have that conversation. I know it's a difficult conversation, but if that person really means something to you, I think it's super important, because from my experience, it kind of tainted my relationship with this person because that conversation wasn't had. Now we're cordial now, we're cool now, but it's still, if I reflect on it, it's still still a little residue there. I have to heal from that, because who's to say that's not how you're gonna move again? When all it took was you communicating and setting those
But
boundaries.
sometimes I know you say all it took was communication. Sometimes people don't know how to communicate.
Exactly.
And sometimes people are afraid
Yeah.
of being, because that's a sense of vulnerability to say there's something here that's not sitting well with me, and to be able to tell you that. And sometimes it's scary to where it's like, I don't know how you're going to respond to it.
But no disrespect, we talking about sisterhood, we talking about friendship.
Yeah, but you got
that relationship should mean something to the point where you should know that you can communicate with me. Even if you said a little something like, I just need space.
And I would say, like,
wait, Taylor, because you ain't got no mic.
I'm sorry. I would say, like, you can't necessarily judge someone else's wound without having the courage to stare yours in the face. So I don't feel like that's an excuse of like, oh, I don't feel brave enough to communicate. If you're going through your healing journey, journal about it. Like, talk to God about it. Whatever it is you need to do, but don't judge someone for the space that they're in. Because I remember when I've been on both of those ends, but I remember when I was at a point where I didn't even know I was complaining all the time. I was fighting to get out of this like depressive sadness. And this was my way of like, okay, I'm trying to tell you that I'm not okay, but I don't know how to say it. So I'm gonna just keep telling you about all the stuff that's going on. And then eventually, once I finally got out of it, now this person has resented me and like held it in and never told me that this bothered me. And now they're in some heated argument when, wow, I felt comfortable enough to tell you that I wasn't okay. But all you heard was, man, you think everything is about you. And it was like, nope, I'm really trying to tell you that I'm always the strong friend. And right now I can't be the strong friend. And it would have been better had that person been like, hey, let's get some tools, because everybody wants to talk about like, oh yeah, I'm on this healing journey, but oftentimes, let's be real, we heal when wounded instead of healing being a continuous tool that we practice.
And I do understand that. So it's not like it's an excuse. It's just that everybody are in different places in their life. So it's like even showing a little grace and saying, okay, this person doesn't understand what's going on. Let me tell you, is there something wrong? Communicate that with me. Sometimes you have to tell people and you have to teach them, because you never know what somebody's situation and story is. Like, they probably never been taught to communicate their feelings. They probably lived in a household where nobody communicated, and that's what they're used to. So it's like understanding that there is grace there, where you say, okay, you're my friend. If there's something bothering you, communicate that with me. And if they don't communicate from that point, then you set those boundaries, and it's just like, okay, well, I try with you. I'm not mad at you, but I can't do this. You know?
So I do want to say that I feel like even a lot of times, just me personally, even in the situation, since we, know that I'm actually experiencing this right now, I have issues with asserting myself, right? In the workplace, in friendships, in my relationship, because sometimes I have trouble finding the right words, right? And I don't want to, I know how sensitive people can be. And like you said, people can get defensive, right? And I don't ever want there to be a situation where it's like we can't come back from something and there's a wound there that just it takes years to heal. Because I have had friends since grammar school, right? That I recently cut off in my 20s, people that I mourn right now that are still living, right? Friends, right? So it's like, I don't want it to get to that point. So all of the things that I was telling you guys, that's what I'm processing, right? And so I'm preparing myself to have that conversation. But it's a scary conversation, for me, because I have had those boundaries crossing and those conversations have been had, and then we weren't able to come back. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it shows, like you said, people are at different places in their lives. So then for some people, it's like, you're not there, I'm here. And so we don't have anything in common right now. And then that distance starts to create itself. Yeah.
Right there. No, I was gonna say that's a whole other thing of like if you are just not aligned, that's a whole different conversation. Like that's a whole other thing. I wouldn't even put it in the same predicament, because if we're not in alignment, then I mean then we don't have to, even we can distance ourselves. But like if we have decided like you are my person, not to get all Grey's Anatomy, but
definitely Grey's Anatomy.
But if we've decided Mayor would never do that to Christina. Ever.
Oh, but when I talk about insecure, that's crazy.
I'm there with you.
Okay, with Molly.
Can I ask you, are you in your late 20s?
Yes, 29.
Oh, so this is your Saturn return. Okay, so that also makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that also makes a lot of sense in the sense of like you are going to go through that phase of losing friends, because right now you are in the stage of figuring out not only who you are, but in your Saturn return, you're basically deciding like, is what I'm doing in life working or not? So right now you're at a point of, is the friends that I have around working? Because if we're going to be honest, like you literally are who you are surrounded by. And the quicker you learn that, the quicker you start to let go of people. So if this person is average, do you want to be average, girl?
Not for real.
I second all of those emotions, because like I have that same sentiment of feeling like I don't always know how to express how I'm feeling. Like sometimes I'd rather just shut down and be done with the situation, as opposed to being like having those difficult or confrontational moments. But it does depend on what that relationship means, because if I shut down and I push you away, then that means to an extent I'm okay with losing that relationship. And now that I'm like acquiring friendships and things that I feel like really mean something to me, then it's like, okay, no. Now I got to woman up and figure out how to say this or say that. And I think that's also why I surround myself with women who are very upfront and straight to the point, because it's like, no, bitch, what's up with you? We're going to have this conversation. And it's like some of us in that who are more sensitive and more soft-spoken need that. You need a friend that's going to be like, no, I love you. What's going on? You know what I mean? So I think all of those things are factors for sure.
Okay.
Good one.
Okay. You see what these cards do, you guys? They bring out the conversations because we also have to date our friends as well. Like, we sometimes take friendships lightly. Like, I know when I was younger, I'd be like, you my friend, real quick without even knowing this person. And then you find out later on in life, you breaking up with friendships that you had in grammar school.
You're like, that is my friend.
And let's talk about the friendship breakup. Like, mourning a friend is a lot. I recently went through friendship breakups. 2024 was like a break every it was a breakup year for me. And
But you still have a love.
don't get me wrong. I absolutely love my friends that I have now, because I feel like, you know, sometimes you reach different points in your life and sometimes people don't move with you. It's just like relationships. Like, sometimes I'm growing and your growth is different than my growth and it's just not working, you know, and that's okay. Like, it's okay, but in the same sense, it's still a certain sadness there. Cause it's like, damn, this was my friend since college. This was my friend since high school. And this is the girl I thought was gonna be at my wedding. This is you know what I mean? And it's like, now I have to unthink about her. But I still have thoughts about her.
That's deep.
And it kind of
Unthinking.
okay,
unthink about
her.
Thoughts about her.
And
I'm gonna ask you a question. You stated it.
it gets hard because I had this conversation with y'all, and I lost a friend because of this podcast. And and so in reality, in her mind, it was because of this podcast. But the podcast had nothing to do with her. It's like a certain topic we were talking about hit home. And she thought that we were specifically talking about her. But it was just like, no, baby, this was recorded way before me and you had the conversation that we had it. You know what I mean? And it showed a different side of her that I've never seen. Like, we were friends since college and never got into an argument until this came out. And I'm the type of person with advice for my friends. This one, I'll be like, go pray about it. Like, meditate about it. And when she says that to me all the time. And I go and I take a beat and I meditate. I pray and then I meditate to hear God's word. And he say, it's just changing for you. Like, it's shifting, and that's okay. It's okay that there's a shift happening. But there are moments where something to pop up. You know, Facebook be,
Memories.
Facebook, Snapchat be like, remember this? No, nigga, delete. I don't want to remember that.
Apple as well.
Apple.
Google.
And that we did a TikTok, and the TikTok popped up in my memories. And it was just like, oh, this was a time where, you know, we were happy together. And it's like, damn, I ain't got that friendship no more. And you told me, you was like, oh, it's gonna take you a minute. I'm just tough and shit. I'm like, no, fuck that bitch. I'm like, I'm good. I ain't thinking about what's her name? You know, but in reality, like,
You're so tough.
I wasn't though, because when I say we never argue. And for it to be our first disagreement over something that I hadn't done, that I was being accused of, it was just like, damn. But I had to take back and be like, this had nothing to do with me and everything to do with her situation. And she needed somebody to take it out on. And I was the person. And she was like, I'm very hurt. We are no longer friends. No, that's not what she said. She said, our season has ended. Oh, okay. Whoo, that hit so hard. I'm like, the season has ended.
Was this via text?
Huh?
Was this via text or was this?
It was via text. She called, but we were filming a podcast, so I couldn't answer. But he was like setting up, so the text message came through, and I'm like, okay, well, we just had this conversation. She's been going through stuff, in her relationship, so maybe I should like look at the text to make sure she's okay. And I'm reading the text message, and I got broke up with through text message. So I'm like, pause everything, and I call her like, what's going on? You know what's going on. And she just went off. So it's like, your mind is already made up. You don't want to hear what I have to say. You already made up the story in your head.
Did you send her some receipts of shoot dates?
It didn't matter to her, because that's not what she didn't care.
Maybe I'm just that petty. Okay.
No, because I told her,
bitch, on this day.
in the middle of the conversation, I said, I told,
They were uploaded.
period. Because when you film off real cameras, they have timestamps.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking.
So I was like, that episode was, the crazy part about it is I didn't say a friend of mine. I didn't say a girl I know.
Yeah.
I just asked the question of, if somebody was in this situation, what would you do?
It was essentially
And
general.
it was a general, and most couples go through it, which is why it was a part of our podcast. So it's like, I just talked to you about this last week. So you think that I filmed, edited the same day, and then shot it out there the same day.
There's no reason to try to understand.
Yeah. So
the
it wasn't.
confusion that-
It wasn't even that she wanted to understand.
Yeah.
Though. She had already made it in her mind, because that's what she needed. She needed that deflection to come on me, so her situation
How did you
could work for
respond?
her. I'm okay with our season ending. I'm perfectly okay with that. I wish you well. I even sent her a New Year's. I sent all my friends New Year's notes, telling them how they impacted my life throughout the year. I didn't get one. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She said,
Granted, you were a newer friend. So that's the only reason why. Let's talk about this later. But I send all my friends, my old friends, New Year's notes, telling them how they impacted my year and whatever, and what I've learned from our relationship. And hers was still a nice note. And it was like, this isn't a note to say that I want our friendship back, but I enjoyed what we had when we had it. And that was my closure.
I wanted you to send her the timestamp.
You know what? And I started to, like, Sir Anthony pulled it up. He like, babe, we shot it on we shot it on this day. We shot it on that day at this time. And he gave me the exact thing. And I'm just like,
Why not let her?
because it didn't matter.
Crack?
It didn't matter.
Let me tell you why.
It didn't matter.
Because even before that happened, the same situation happened in a different way.
Yeah.
So people start looking for reasons to
Start
end.
over.
People start looking for reasons to end situations, and I noticed that, because literally it seemed like all of this is my life. That's why I listen to y'all. That's why I listen to Pure Intentions, because it's all my life. I'm living it. Y'all not just living it. We all living it.
Take that as a soundbite.
For real. And that's why I love it so much, because honestly, like, I'm on the receiving end of that right now. And I've been on the other end of that, right, where I've ended a friendship. And then let's talk about regretting it. Let's talk about breaking up with a friend and regretting it.
talk about it.
And about mourning people and they still alive. Like, it's hard, right? For real, because I broke up with my sister from childhood. It's people to this day that still think that we are blood sisters and we were just best friends from childhood, right? And it's hard. She live in Nashville, Tennessee, so it makes it easier, but it's hard. It's very hard. And we broke up because I was engaged and I was getting married, and I chose another one of my best friends to be my maid of honor and not my sister, and she was mad. And she was like, we had planned this all our life. I said, Amani, we did not plan this. You were going to be my matron of honor because you're older, so you were going to get married first. But these were like child plans that we made from like 6 and 9 years old. And because I didn't adhere to that when we were in our 20s, it was like, it was a lot. It was a lot. It's like, it's not ideal for you to be my maid of honor. You're not in Chicago. You know, you don't have the capacity to come up here. What about when I have to do a cake tasting right away and you can't be here? Then what? You can't just get that title just because you my sister.
Or just
You
the time
yeah,
that
you
you've known
yes.
each other, yeah.
Being a maid of honor is a job. I'm like, it's a financial situation. I'm like, it's a lot that comes with it. And she just didn't understand that. So that had to end. And then I regretted that. I regretted that because I felt like she took my moment and made it about her. You know what I'm saying? So I ended
them
that.
the friends that you gotta let go.
Yeah. I ended that.
Yeah.
I ended that because I'm like, you can't just be, and you know what's so crazy? Tia and Tamara, they went through the same situation.
Yep.
And that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, just be my sister. Just be my sister. So I'm like, you don't have to be my maid of honor, just be my sister. That's an important role too. And even in me literally being on the receiving end of a breakup, my best friend from college, you brought up best friend from college, she literally just ghosted me. I don't know why. She's the godmother of my children. She was the beneficiary on my life insurance policy. She's in the will to get my children. And she ghosted me. I just took her off last week.
Hold on.
I just took her off last week, and she's an Aquarius. Her birthday was a couple of days ago, actually.
With those
I knew that was
Yes.
coming out of her mouth next.
I'm sorry. I am
Literally.
She's an Aquarius hater.
I'm like, are you?
Self-hate.
They so weird.
Not all of them.
Bro, she's the most beautiful person I've ever met.
I have some pretty close Aquarius friends.
No.
Yeah.
I'm new card. What am I?
Wait, before
We've been talking about
I will say before we skip, it's a good topic because it resonates with me. I don't even have to speak, and everything that everybody has said hits home. I've experienced it in so many different shapes and forms. College friend, grammar school friend, and I feel like, you know, we don't get to choose our family, but we get to choose our friends. And even though, like, yes, okay, I'm a Pisces. People, what you say earlier?
I had to cut my Pisces best friend off.
Well, apparently people gravitate towards the energy. You know, we're adaptable.
We're all signs.
We're all signs. We get along with a lot of people. But these were individuals where I feel like I was an amazing friend to. And to you guys' point, all it took was a conversation. And it showed me the way.
Your heart out,
and I was just pouring it out.
That's what we do.
And got ghosted. And in another situation, it was because of business, but we was like, let's not, you know, make it personal. It's just business, but it turned into something different. And to your point, I was the godmother of child, maid of honor, all these things. And so, also to your point, I think it was just a transitional period for me. In order for me to grow in certain areas, I had to let go of those situations or learn how to let go of those situations because it was really hard for me. Like, if you with me, we stuck for life. Okay. And so when somebody turns a different leaf and goes that way, I don't know. It was always hard for me to deal with. But now, the advice that I gave you, I'm like, you're going to go through that. Yeah. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to know why, but it's meant for a reason later on in life. And so
I'm a strong believer in the fact that the universe is going to provide to you whatever it is you need when you need it, right? And so it applies to relationships. And I'm seeing a lot of connection. I'm hearing a lot of connection with what was brought up earlier about these difficult conversations that we're not necessarily comfortable having. When you regularly practice having difficult conversations with your loved ones, it kind of seeps into every other area of your life, including work. But when we're talking about these friendships, right? Like when you regularly practice having these difficult conversations, the people that are going through things and project onto you and break up with you, without explanation, usually because they're going through things that they're not necessarily comfortable sharing or don't know how to share. When you have those conversations regularly, they can get there, right? And I'm not saying that you have to chase after anybody, I'm not saying that, but just being in practice of having uncomfortable, difficult conversations can open up a lot of different doors.
That's the word.
Yes.
Practice.
That's the advice from this conversation.
Okay, so I do want to change the topic a little bit. It might stay in the same kind of lane because these cards are about friends. But Jazz over here hasn't said anything. So let's pull a card.
Okay. What? Okay. You and your friend like the same guy. You're serious about the guy, but your friend sees him as just a casual fling. Do you talk to her about your feelings or keep them to yourself?
Is that your friend? Is that your friend or is that your associate?
This requires a second read.
Yeah.
You and your friend like the same guy. Time out. Keisha and Ava like the same guy. Keisha is serious about the guy, but Ava sees him as just a casual fling. Do you talk to your friend?
Keisha.
I am Keisha. Am I talking to Ava about my feelings, or do I keep them to myself? I'm gonna pivot to somebody in the audience.
No, you gotta Keisha was serious, but Ava was playing.
And Ava was playing.
Yeah, Keisha really liked it.
I don't.
If you was Keisha, what would you do, Jazz?
I have a valid question.
Yes.
Okay.
Ava's not here.
No, Ava not here. Let Keisha answer first because she hasn't said anything at all.
Okay. Now, Keisha would like to.
For Keisha about Ava.
Okay.
I have a valid question for Keisha about Ava.
Okay.
My valid question is Ava a hoe?
Before you
Well,
answer.
we don't know if she's a hoe. We just know that she's okay. So they have.
She got whole tennis.
They have an interest in the same guy. They're attracted to the same guy. However, you like the guy and see potential relationship with him, while the other girl just see him as like a nice little fling, like just something to play with. So like, do you tell him like, look, like I know you just want to play with him, but I can't, like we actually vibe, like I feel a real connection here.
But that's the question. Do you say something?
Yeah.
Well, Keisha does not congregate with hoes, so Keisha would not be around those. But I would say I think I know my friends pretty well, and I would hope that they know me pretty well. So I think that would be a very simple conversation, and I think at the end of the day, if it's a good friend and it is a friend I care about, I'm not going to allow our relationship to falter over a guy.
Bros before hoes.
Yeah, I just can't see myself arguing, especially if it's a very, very good friend of mine. And if the shoe was on the other foot, if I'm just casually looking for something, I can look elsewhere, I think. And I feel like my friend would have the same concept. I can find flings anywhere. But if you're serious about this particular person, then I'm going to be in your corner. I'm going to be supportive of your relationship. And I'm going to do what needs to be done to make sure that you all have a healthy relationship.
But what if she's not serious and you are? Like, what if this person, if anybody see you two together, it just makes sense. Like how y'all vibe together, and you've never felt that before. And she's just like, I like she's more outspoken, so she's talking to this guy and telling you, oh, I'm gonna do this and that and a third to him, but I ain't gonna take him serious.
Well, pre-salvation, I probably would have gone a different route, but post-salvation, those are two different outcomes. Pre-salvation. I think then we would have a serious conversation. We would have to sit down and really evaluate like the standards and expectations in our friendship, because obviously some communication got lost somewhere. So I think that's a sit down conversation, and if that season has passed for me and that friend, then so be it. Yeah.
I'm going to just say I am grateful enough with almost 30 years on this earth. Me and my friends are not attracted to the same type of men. Even though the nigga might be fine. When he open up his mouth, if he with her, he ain't my type. And that's just what it is. Wow. Okay? And I'm grateful for that. Because I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. I don't like creating competition amongst me and my friends. Because women, we can be just as aggressive, right? Or even as what do they call men? They say that they are hunters. We have hunter spirits in us as well. We have masculine energy that dwells deep within us that we can make come alive. And in that energy, when we're dwelling in those moments, and when we're dwelling in those moments, you know, it's just like, yeah, what's for you is for you, and what's for me is for me. And then if I was in that situation, I think honestly, I would bow out gracefully, because I'm not, you gonna be here before that nigga, you gonna be here after that nigga. So if you really want that nigga, girl, have that nigga.
Possibly.
Well,
We just.
let me ask a question.
That's true. You said possible.
You said what the guy is on. Like, what's he doing?
So based
who
on
he want? What he doing?
right, so based on how the card is read, it sounds like one of them wants something serious, and the other one is already having the fling with the guy.
No. No.
Kinda.
That's what it sounds like.
Well, what if it's not that way?
But what if? So
Let's pretend like it's not that way.
Okay,
and we had a conversation about this nigga. Like, damn, we at a bar and like he fine as fuck. And like, yeah, I'm
okay. So if it's
a casual fling.
Yeah.
It's that she sees him as a casual fling.
Okay,
You're
because
curious about him, so they could
They
both
ain't did
potentially
nothing
be
yet.
friends with him, right? He could be in their circle.
Ava
And
is
she-
supposed to be like, I always wanted a brother.
just like
so
Get on my nerves.
so even if
Get on my nerves.
How did we get? Y'all just alike.
Get on my nerves.
Y'all are so similar.
Don't put me with her.
So even if y'all in a general area, cafeteria, coffee shop, bar, whatever, you having a conversation about some guy that y'all see attractive, who gets the pick? Who gets the man?
The man has to.
So why is the conversation serious? Why is the conversation becoming serious and your friendship down there on the line about a guy that didn't even pick neither one of y'all yet?
Okay, say that.
Oh, I think what's dope about these cards in this conversation is a repetitive theme is people are saying, well, with my real friends, like when, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, in that conversation, I think I've been in a similar situation as this. And if you like, oh, I'm just playing around, and she like, nah, I really feel this, that, and other. You can be like, oh, girl, you got it, because I was just playing in a real friendship with real feminine energy when they're really bonded together. You know what I'm saying? What's up?
Or just to kind
Or just to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, you were kind of going this direction, but maybe not really. Or there's a difference between your real friend and somebody who's just your homegirl.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's
Absolutely.
a whole different kind of energy.
Yeah.
So you might not even feel the need to even have that
But
conversation.
I have a very strong line of that because of all of this that we talk about right now, I really don't have a lot of people that I consider a friend, a real girlfriend. Even with relationships, I'm the same way with men. Like if I suspect any of this weird shit is going on, I keep a certain distance even if I'm cool with you. So if you are my friend, I go above and beyond to not cross your boundaries and to also communicate so that we don't have any issues.
Then you
so
know me. Okay.
I know you.
Yep.
Have I met you before?
Do I really know you? Do I know you?
No, girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we're specific and we was me and you, and you were like, oh no, I really like him, and I was just like, oh girl, I was just fucking around. Go ahead, for sure.
Elena.
Question is, what if we both? What if we were both serious about this guy?
That's a good question.
I think at that point we should just be like, you know what? Let's just not. Yes.
That's gonna get real sticky.
Come on.
Okay.
That's all.
We don't even have the same type, Alina. Stop. Chill.
You don't know that because that real tall man you had one time, you know I like him tall.
The truth. I always wanted a brother.
I always wanted a brother.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely
kidding.
have that
I'm
real
literally
tall
kidding
man.
because I don't know who that man was. I hate to sound ridiculous.
I know, like, you have been standing next to somebody, and I was just like, do you not know who that was? And you were like, yeah, I have no clue. I'm like, Alina!
Yeah.
That was the one!
That was the one.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you
Alina's
like
like,
that one? Out of 10, you and your homegirl don't, or you and your best friend.
Wait.
9 times out of 10, you and your homegirl, you and your best friend, y'all not attracted to the same type of men. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. That's why I love being friends with different women from different signs and stuff like that. Like, honestly, me being a Taurus, I don't vibe with Taurus women. All of us are different. I just don't. I don't vibe with Taurus women. I will. So if you don't like Taurus women, I get that. I get that. Because also the upbringing matters as well. My mom's a Virgo, right? And my dad's a Scorpio. So that has a lot to do with, my cultivation. But at the same time, I will say, like, me and my friends, I just don't see us being attracted to the same men. We're so different. Our taste is different. Even if we both may agree that this man is handsome, once he opens up his mouth, his morals, his values, what he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do, he gonna align with one of us. He's not gonna align with both of us. And so, like you said, at the end of the day, it's about who he picks. Also, it's about who he picks, because you gotta be like, okay, well, he picked her, and you gotta suck that shit up. You was not.
I'm kind of curious because we say that we don't like the same type of man, but I'm kind of curious to know what our types are to even see if we actually like the same type of man or not. Like, let's start here. What's your type?
Let's
Tall,
go.
dark, and handsome.
Okay.
Spiritual, creative.
Okay.
Strong black man.
Okay.
No, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't got no type, like they say with Sway Lee and them. It's really about that. It's really about the connection. Hey. You can be as fine as you want to be. You can be tall. You can be rich. I really don't care about none of that stuff. It's about the connection. Can I be all types of myself with you? Can I be the goofy me? Can I be the sexy me? Can I be the masculine version of me, the feminine version of me? That's really what it's about.
What if he 5'3"?
Damn. The Lord said he wouldn't do that to me. Me and the Lord got 2 arrangements. He will be black and he will be at least taller than me. That's all. That's what we got going on.
You're a tall woman.
I'm actually, you guys are all short.
Clothes look directed to me, or
All of you. Except for me and my girl.
I don't know. I don't know what my type is. I would say out of my history of men, my type is Gemini and Scorpio, which are the 2 worst types. Oh, I hate it for me so bad.
For sure. That's scary.
Yeah. It is. It's very much so scary for me, but it's something about the way that a Gemini man can spot a Taurus woman out of a crowd of 100,000 women. Like, they see us as a mag. They're
predators.
Yeah, but so are Scorpios. So are Scorpios though. And so with that energy, it's like, I don't know, but that's what I attract. And so that's why I'm in a healing. That's why I'm in a healing phase of my life right now, because
I'm toxic.
you know what?
Yeah.
And that's my toxic trait. My toxic trait is that I like toxic niggas.
So we definitely ain't finding the same man.
We definitely ain't.
But at the same, got nothing to worry about.
But you know what? At the same time, in full transparency, it's not even the toxicity that draws me to them. With a Gemini man, it's more so like he quiet, he laid back. You feel what I'm saying? So I like that energy. I want to see, like, out of all of me, like, why you so quiet? Like, what you got going on? Yeah, what you got going on? And they like Gemini men like aggressive women. So Taurus women, we're bullheaded, we're very aggressive. So they welcome that energy. A lot of men, they shy away from that. So that's why I fuck with Gemini men. And then Scorpio men, they like a challenge, right? And Taurus women, we are very sure of ourselves. But Scorpios, they got like a manipulative type of, so they want to try to see, it's a challenge for them to try to like get us to bend on what we think we stand on. I fuck with it. It's like some mind shit. Like,
Your
I don't
father
know.
is a Scorpio, so.
Yeah, I did say that. And they have strong family. They have strong family ideals too. Scorpio men are very much so like family oriented. I fucks with that. So it's their good qualities more or less than their toxic qualities.
I'm being honest, you know? I still don't understand why you have a Scorpio on your chest and you're
My daughter is a Scorpio.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And my firstborn, my son is a Sag. Tag coming soon. Another Sag. Crazy.
Okay. I don't know if I have a type to CEO's point. I think I look for spirituality. I look for creativeness. I look for creativity, rather. You don't have to be like a bibliophile, but you need to have read something in the last year and not just off your phone. That'd be ideal. And, kind, good relationship with your family. Says a lot about, your ability to communicate and hold healthy relationships. Those would be like the top ones. Now, yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that for media purposes.
I guess.
Right, I already got him. I got my man. Y'all already know.
Chrissy,
So, you back there blushing. Look at him.
You done passed the microphone.
Because they know who he is.
No, we don't know your type.
If you don't know, go back to. If you don't know, go back to the previous episodes, and you will see what my type is.
Give him a short bio or something.
What about? Because we know who your man is, but we don't know what about him as your type.
Well, everything that you said, basically, he's family oriented. We have the same type. Yeah, this is why I said that. Like, we always say our friends don't have our same type, but let's find out if we do. But literally everything you said was describing my man.
For the record, Jasmine.
Because we all can say family oriented. Okay. We all want to. All right.
Yeah, like we just vibe well together. Like it's like a certain spiritual bond that is unexplainable. Mm-hmm. And it's like from the first moment that I saw him, I can't talk about nobody but him being my type. Because at first I was just like, I don't really have a type. Mm-hmm. But like he is strictly my type. Like, yeah, he get on my nerves. But I love him, even when he getting on my nerves. Like, he just dope as fuck. Like, y'all, he got the beard going on. I love me a beard with a little gray in it, and I got my heels on. He's taller than me in my heels, so that works for me. He has the muscles.
Okay, is the couch all right?
Look, I tried to skip me, but y'all wanted to hear it, so
Keep going, we're investing.
So I'm gonna give it to you. No, seriously, like you go through things in relationships. For me, my biggest thing was communication. and we're working on it, but he does communicate exceptionally well, more so than most men I've ever dated. So yeah, and he's willing to go through life with me. Like we're now in couples therapy, you guys. Yeah. So yeah, my type is someone who leads and who also knows how to allow me to lead in moments where I'm strong at. So my man.
So I've been small most of my life. I was like 90 pounds, like until I was probably going into my 20s. And so growing up watching my grandparents, my grandmother did not have to work, but she was able to. And so my grandfather literally did everything from the house chores, work 5 days a week, come home, give the grandkids their allowance. So I grew up with that. Yeah, the man's supposed to literally protect, provide, and do everything. So I looked for that, and I always liked bigger guys. It made me like I like a teddy bear. So my bae he a teddy bear. I like to get up in there, get my good spoon on. But I also like a guy that when we talk and conversate, I don't always want to have a conversation where it feel like we have to work on us so much, or it feel like we always talking about somebody else. Like if we could have a conversation about nothing, I love you. Because you find out how many men can't talk for 5 fucking minutes. Okay. You be like, baby, we don't got nothing to talk about. You okay, you cute. But this ain't going nowhere other than to a bed and see you later, baby. But with my baby, we could see some BS on the commercial or something. We'll have a whole 10-minute skit about it. We done made her up a whole nother life or whatever. Because I don't want to have to always, because when you talk about somebody's life, I feel like you judging past a certain point. And everybody want to be spiritual, religious, and all that. When you talk too much about somebody's life, you are judging. It ain't for you to fix or talk about. If you gonna fix on yourself, do that. But I don't want to have to look at you and talk about your life. I don't want to take my life into somebody else's life and tell them all my problems. So we talk about our life, but we know how to table that, and then we could talk about anything else. So that's why he my bae. I love somebody that can talk.
Physically, I don't know that I have a type, but in terms of like what you bring to the table, we're talking about the table. Let's see, must be service oriented, must be intelligent and educated, and preferably like, I mean, I'm in school for my PhD. You ain't got to be on that level, but I do want you to be able to have a conversation with me and not, like, and as Jazz said, like, I love men who read. 48 Laws of Power does not count. And Rich Dad Poor Dad does not count. No, but they can't be your personality. They cannot be your personality.
A lot of narcissists read those books. So. Like a lot of narcissists men.
And I'm anti-narcissist, right? So, but very much service-oriented, very much detail-oriented, and like I do appreciate open communication, but sometimes it's nice to know that somebody's just paying attention to the little things. Mm-hmm. I love that. I value that. Let me see. There's something else that I'm missing. Romance. Like, you got to be romantic. Like, we have to go on dates. Like, I like spending quality time with you. We could be in the house, but I also like adventure. And I have a fitness background, so preferably you would like to exercise and move your body.
Yes, because that body is for the gods.
Okay. Mine?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you. But yeah, I'm just a girl when I'm with you, so be about the service,
Period.
And be a protector.
I've been dying to hear this. I want to hear my coach's type. Yes, lady.
Keep it simple. Just
yes.
I plead the fifth.
No.
No, I'm kidding. I have a mic. Crazy, but I would echo.
Wait a minute.
Right? No.
I think we all had a moment like,
went because again, the whole we started this conversation to basically debunk if we like the same type of men, right?
Yeah, that pause was just a little too much.
I'm sorry, but Jazz,
We like the same.
we're echoing a lot of the same things here. Same thing, physical quality. I would say matured. Because I'm a short girly, I'm about 5 feet, and what I used to want was someone 6 feet tall, and it's cool and all, but it doesn't matter to me anymore. However, I am athletic and dancer, so I need. I'm not gonna stand up, but yes. Physical physique or just fitness, wellness. Fitness is important to me. Family oriented, I know we've spoken on before. Someone who's super supportive and grounded because I am a water sign and I like to flow like water. So sometimes I need somebody to bring me back to life and reality. Definitely ambitious. Someone who reads, someone who's goal oriented. I'm very determined. I'm more like the executor, I feel like. If you have an idea, I'm going to be the one that kind of brings it to life. But I need you to have that ambition too. Yes, definitely a provider, protector. And you got to be a little strong-minded a little bit. And also understand how to deal with me because I can be a little sassy and feisty. And not take that personally. You know, I need somebody that can... handle you. Yes. Handle me and not look at it like a challenge or
They gonna soften that up real good.
you know what I'm saying? Yes, be respectful about it because I could be submissive, but you just gotta know how to talk to me, right? And it's
just gotta say you can't tell me if you can tell me what to do.
You
can
tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do.
Exactly, and I feel like also I am a chameleon, so like. I adapt to a lot of different environments and situations, so you just gotta know that about me and just move with me. Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I love that. That was very accurate. Very accurate.
You know it's hard out here for a
You ain't know.
nigga trying to get the money for the rent.
You ain't know, man. Damn. Yeah.
It be a whole lot of
bitches jumping shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, live.
Missy Mom.
Actually, not to. I know y'all gonna be like, boo, but me personally, I don't say my type on camera, because I don't like people pretending to be something that they're not, and then they change, and all of a sudden they're somebody completely different. And also, like, with my following that I have, people have put me in uncomfortable situations. So, you do not have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me.
Well, do you have a physical type that people can't pretend to be?
Yeah, they can change that. Yeah. So tell us that.
Yeah, it's muscles. Yeah.
I didn't say my physical type. I want to speak on my
Keep going.
physical type.
Muscles.
Done.
You're not getting off the hook that easily. One Pisces to another who did not want to share.
She was so ready, muscles.
Listen, y'all. I
skin,
would
dark
have to
skin.
include y'all in my close friends. I'm like, y'all. It's been some wild things that's been
Black,
out there.
white,
You're listen. Well, yeah, I know y'all are my close friends. Hello. 16 karat. Okay, I'm sorry, I got distracted.
You want me to ask you the question again? Dark skin, light skin.
Oh, I don't think I have a like complexion thing. I don't think that's not. I would absolutely prefer a black man. Okay.
Okay.
You know, like.
Does everyone prefer a black man?
Indeed. Indeed.
Wait, you ain't say nothing.
This is a colors only.
Okay. Colored only.
I
Now, if the Lord say otherwise,
You know, sometimes
Some people say that.
sometimes you get blessed with something else.
You said.
She said this is a colors only pie.
I was engaged to an Arab. I was engaged to an Arab, and he was actually Arab and Puerto Rican. I was
engaged.
engaged to him. He was a Pisces, though. Pisces is
Toxic.
wild. No, he wasn't toxic at all. He's not toxic at all.
I've heard women.
He wasn't black. Say that. Say that.
When I've seen women be like, "Oh, you're a Pisces," oh, and I just be like, "I get it. I got it."
I don't. I'm just kidding.
For Pisces men,
Pisces men,
The Pisces
born in March, specifically. Run.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
No lies there.
I will say I'm not a water sign as my partner is just not my thing at all. So there's that. Nope. We will not drown together.
Never? Did you have to learn that?
We will not drown together. So let me tell you, just this really random. Let me tell you about my first date on my first Scorpio date ever. And this was just like, I don't want to say traumatized, but it was so weird. This man was just like, yeah, like, you're so caring and nurturing, and my mom died when I was young, and my stepmom used to make me live underneath the steps, and I just feel like you could heal that for me. And I said,
What?
check please. I gotta go. But yeah, no, I don't need, Scorpios represent death and rebirth and all those things. It's just, no thank you for me.
In terms of ethnicity, though, I will say that I have dated outside my race, and it's, for me at this point, it's not ideal, especially because what I've experienced, I had to do a lot of explaining, and I've had to deal with a lot of racism within my relationships. And so for me, like, I'm not necessarily closed off to dating outside of my race, but I would prefer to be with a black man.
We have to get into our Galentine's night. We are celebrating Galentine's today, you guys. And
your birthday. We're going to be happy birthday, Christy. Happy birthday to you.
Break it down.
Happy birthday to you.
Break it down.
Happy birthday. One time for the birthday. Hey. Two times for the birthday. Hey. Three times for the birthday. Hey. Get off the couch.
no, I have morals and standards. I can't shake my ass in front of everybody online. My man is watching. I am conservative. Well, that's what happens when you listen to that song. You start twerking. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you, ladies, for joining me in this episode. This has been absolutely amazing. I'm getting to know a lot of you guys, which this is fun. It's fun getting to know y'all. But just to wrap this up, you guys, this was just like an example of what the Sister Circle cards are about. We always talk about relationships when it comes to men and women, or whatever your preference is. However, I do feel like there is a certain power where you do need to date your friends, and you need to get to know people on a personal level. And I feel like these cards do just that. Even off pulling, how many did we do? Three cards. We had a long conversation about them, and I think if I didn't stop them, we would still be talking right now. So you guys can find these cards on our website at www.pureintentions314.com. Yeah, and they're yellow. The yellow is for friendship, if no one knew that. So if you guys buy your friends roses, buy yellow roses because it's for friendship. But thank you guys for tuning in to another Pure Intentions podcast, and we will see you next week.